I've loved Do Handshake since I was 12 years old. It happened on a random Tuesday during summer break. He'd punched Kim Min-soo for calling me a weak Omega and making me cry. Hanshik's knuckles were bleeding, his school uniform wrinkled, but he'd looked at me with those fierce eyes and said, "Nobody hurts my junkie. Nobody." That's when I knew I was doomed. Now, 15 years later, I'm lying in his hotel bed on Jeju Island, watching the morning sun paint golden stripes across his sleeping face. His dark hair is messy, lips slightly parted, one arm thrown carelessly over my waist. He looks peaceful, beautiful, mine, except he's not, and he never will be. Last night was a mistake. The most wonderful, devastating mistake of my life. Junkie. His voice is rough with sleep. My heart hammers as his eyes flutter open, confused and unfocused. What happened? I force myself to smile even as something inside me shatters. You went into rut. Don't you remember? Handshake bolts upright, the sheets pooling around his waist. His scent, sandalwood and summer rain, is still everywhere, mixed with mine in a way that makes my Omega instincts purr with satisfaction. But the horrified expression on his face kills any lingering warmth in my chest. Oh God. Junkie, did I hurt you? His hands hover over me, not quite touching, and I want to scream. Yes, you're hurting me. You're killing me. But not the way you think. I'm fine, I lie, already gathering my clothes from the floor. It was just bad timing. Your rut came early. I don't remember. He presses his palms against his eyes. Fuck, I don't remember anything after dinner. The wine? There was something in the wine. My fingers freeze on my shirt buttons. What? Park Yuna's father was at the restaurant. He sent that bottle to our table. Hanshik's jaw clenches. That bastard. He must have put something in it to trigger my rut early. Ice floods my veins. Park Yuna, the Omega daughter of the Park family, one of Seoul's most powerful conglomerates. Everyone knows the Parks have been trying to arrange a marriage between their daughter and Hanshik for years. My best friend has always refused, saying he'd choose his own partner when he was ready. But if they could force a situation, create a scandal, why would he do that? I ask, though I already know. Hanshik looks at me, and there's something in his eyes I can't read. Guilt? Regret? Yuna was supposed to be here this weekend. She was supposed to be my assistant on this trip, not you. If she'd been here when the rut hit, you would have bonded with her. The words taste like ash in my mouth. In Omegaverse society, if an Alpha and Omega spend a rut together, it creates an undeniable bond. Marriage becomes inevitable. They were trying to trap you. But you were here instead. His hand finally touches my cheek, and I have to fight not to lean into it. Junkie, I'm so sorry. You saved me from their scheme, but I never wanted to use you like this. I never wanted to. It's fine. I pull away, finishing with my buttons. My hands are shaking. We're friends. Friends help each other, right? The word friends sits between us like a wall made of knives. Right, he says softly. Friends. I leave his room before I do something stupid, like tell him I love him. Like beg him to remember last night, when he'd whispered my name like a prayer and held me like I was precious. 2 weeks later, I'm vomiting in my apartment bathroom when my phone buzzes. Junkie, I need to tell you something. Can we meet? My hands tremble as I wipe my mouth. I've taken 3 pregnancy tests. All positive. Male Omegas like me can conceive, but it's rare, precious. My doctor had been ecstatic during yesterday's appointment, until I'd burst into tears. How can I be happy about carrying the child of a man who doesn't love me? I meet Hanshik at our usual cafe. He's wearing a designer suit, looking every bit the wealthy heir he is. When he sees me, his smile is strained. You look tired, he says, and I wonder if he can smell the changes in my scent yet. Probably not. It's too early. Work's been busy. Another lie. I've been exhausted because growing a life inside you apparently requires all your energy. What did you want to tell me? Hanshik takes a deep breath. I'm getting married. The coffee cup slips from my fingers, shattering on the floor. Brown liquid spreads across white tile like blood. To Park Yuna, he continues, not meeting my eyes. Her father, he has evidence that could destroy my family's company. Fraud allegations against my father. All fabricated, but it would take years to prove it in court. The legal fees alone would bankrupt us. His fists clench on the table. He's offering to make it all disappear if I marry Yuna. Handshake. My voice barely works. I have no choice, junkie. It's my family. My father's legacy. Everything my grandfather built. He finally looks at me and his eyes are red. I'm sorry. I know this ruins our plans to start that business together. Once I'm married, Yuna's family will control my schedule, my decisions. Everything. I'm carrying your child, I want to scream. I'm pregnant with your baby, and you're marrying someone else. But I don't. Because Hanshik's family means everything to him. His father, his legacy, his duty, these are the chains that bind him. How can I add my own chains to that weight? Congratulations, I whisper instead. I'm happy for you. That night, I cry until I have no tears left. Then I make a decision. I'll have this baby alone. I'll raise them with all the love Hanshik would have given if he'd known. And I'll never, ever tell him the truth. Some secrets are meant to be kept. The wedding invitation arrives 4 weeks later, cream-colored and elegant, with our names written in golden calligraphy. You are cordially invited to celebrate the union of Do Hanshik and Park Yuna. I RSVP yes, because I'm a masochist. Or maybe because some part of me needs to see it end to finally let go. I shouldn't have come. This thought loops through my mind as I stand in front of my bathroom mirror, adjusting my navy suit for the 100th time. At 8 weeks pregnant, I'm barely showing, but I feel enormous. Vulnerable. Like everyone will take one look at me and know. My reflection looks haunted, dark circles under my eyes despite the concealer, cheekbones sharper from the morning sickness that hits at all hours. I've lost weight everywhere except my slightly rounded stomach, which I'm hiding under a loose vest. You can do this, I whisper to myself. 3 hours. Smile, congratulate them if. The suppressants I'm taking mask most of my changing scent, though they make me nauseous. My doctor warned against them during pregnancy, but what choice do I have? If Hanshik smells that I'm pregnant, if anyone suspects? Today isn't about me. It's about watching the man I love marry someone else and somehow surviving it. The Shilla Hotel's grand ballroom looks like something from a fairy tale. Crystal chandeliers drip light over hundreds of white roses. Ice sculptures of swans guard the entrance. Servers in crisp uniforms carry champagne on silver trays. Everything screams old money and power. I'm underdressed. Everyone here is Seoul's elite, business moguls, politicians, celebrities. I recognize a famous actor, 2 K-pop idols, and the CEO of Samsung's son. Park Yuna's family has pulled out all the stops. Kim Jung-ki-SSI? A wedding coordinator approaches, her smile professional. You're seated in section B, row 7. Not the front. Not with family. I'm relieved and hurt simultaneously. I find my seat between 2 elderly women who ignore me completely. Perfect. I can fade into the background, be invisible. Just another face in the crowd of 300 guests. The string quartet begins playing, and my stomach lurches. Not now. Please, not now. But my body doesn't care about timing. Saliva floods my mouth, the warning sign. I swallow hard, pressing my hand against my abdomen. The baby bump is barely there, but I swear I can feel it, a tiny secret burning beneath my palm. You all right, young man? One of the elderly women eyes me with concern. Fine, I manage. Just nervous. Weddings always make me emotional. She pats my hand. The groom's friend? He's lucky to have loyal people. If only she knew how disloyal my thoughts are. The music swells, and Hanshik enters from the side. My breath catches. He's devastating in a black tuxedo, his hair styled back, face expressionless. But I know him. I've known him for 15 years. I can see the tension in his shoulders, the way his jaw is clenched too tight. He looks like a man walking to his execution. Our eyes meet across the crowded room. For one heartbeat, too, something flashes in his gaze. Longing? Regret? Then he looks away, and I wonder if I imagined it. The wedding march begins. Everyone stands. Park Yuna appears at the entrance, and I have to admit she's beautiful. Her wedding dress probably costs more than my yearly salary. Layers of silk and lace, a cathedral train, a diamond tiara. She looks like a princess. Perfect for someone like Hanshik. Everything I'm not. The ceremony begins. I try to focus on breathing. In through my nose, out through my mouth. But the ballroom is too hot, too crowded. My vest feels suffocating. Sweat beads on my forehead. The officiant's voice drones on about love and commitment and eternal devotion. Each word is a knife between my ribs. I clutch the seat in front of me, knuckles white. Do Hanshik, take Park Yuna to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. His voice is steady, but his hands are fists at his sides. Do you, Park Yuna, take Do Hanshik to be your lawfully wedded husband? I do. She's smiling, triumphant. If anyone has objections to this union, speak now or forever hold your peace. The traditional words hang in the air. Nobody ever objects. Just a formality. My vision blurs. The chandelier above suddenly seems too bright, the room tilting sideways. My heart hammers erratically. Cold sweat drenches my back. No, not now. I try to stand, to slip out quietly, but my legs won't cooperate. The elderly woman beside me gasps as I stumble into the aisle. Young man. Everyone's turning to look. Hundreds of faces, all staring. I take one step, then another, trying to reach the exit. But the floor is moving, the walls closing in. I hear Hanshik shout my name. Then everything goes black. I'm drowning in sensations. Voices shouting. Strong arms catching me before I hit the marble floor. A familiar scent, sandalwood and summer rain, wrapping around me like a blanket. Junkie! Someone call an ambulance. That's Hanshik's voice, frantic and raw. I try to open my eyes, but my body won't respond. Move. Everyone move. His alpha command ripples through the crowd. I feel myself being lifted, cradled against a chest. His chest. What's wrong with him? Park Yuna's voice, shrill with anger or fear. I don't know. Hanshik stops mid-sentence. Goes completely still. Oh no. Hanshik. Someone asks. What is it? I feel his nose against my neck, inhaling deeply. The suppressants. They're wearing off. And an alpha can always smell his own child, even through medications, even through lies. The sound he makes is inhuman, something between a growl and a sob. He's pregnant. Hanshik's voice cuts through the chaos like a blade. Junkie's pregnant. Silence falls like a guillotine. That's impossible, Park Yuna says. He's male. Male omegas can't. He's carrying my child. Hanshik's arms tighten around me. I can smell it. It's mine. The words echo through the ballroom. 300 witnesses to my secret, my shame, my desperate love. I force my eyes open, meeting Hanshik's gaze. His face is white with shock, eyes wild and dilated. The alpha in him has taken over, protective and possessive. Junkie, he breathes. How long? 8 weeks, I whisper and watch his world shatter. He knows. He's done the math. Jeju Island. That night. You knew, he says, voice breaking. You knew, and you were going to let me. I'm sorry. Tears stream down my face. I'm so sorry. Behind him, Park Yuna screams, her father shouts, and chaos erupts. But all I see is Hanshik, still holding me, still here. I wake to the sterile smell of hospital and the steady beep of monitors. My hand instinctively goes to my stomach. Still there. Still safe. Relief floods through me until I remember. The wedding, the collapse, Hanshik's face when he realized the truth. You're awake. I turn my head. Hanshik sits in the chair beside my bed, still wearing his tuxedo though the bow tie is gone and his shirt is unbuttoned at the collar. He looks like he's aged 10 years in the past few hours. Dark stubble shadows his jaw, his eyes are bloodshot, and his hair stands in every direction like he's been running his hands through it. How long? I ask. 4 hours. The doctor said you fainted from stress and dehydration. The baby's fine. His voice cracks on the last word. Our baby. I can't look at him. I'm sorry you found out like that. Sorry. He laughs, but there's no humor in it. Junkie, you were going to let me marry her. You were going to raise my child alone and never tell me. You had no choice. Her father was blackmailing you. So you decided for me? Handshake stands abruptly, the chair scraping against linoleum. You decided I didn't deserve to know I was going to be a father? I was protecting you. My voice rises and immediately I regret it. This isn't his fault. None of this is his fault. Your family, your company, everything you've worked for, I couldn't let my mistake destroy that. Your mistake. He stares at me like I've grown a second head. Is that what you think our child is? Before I can answer, the door bursts open. A tall, silver-haired man in an expensive suit strides in. Do Jinho, Handshake's father. His face is thunderous. Out. He points at me. Get out of my son's life. Father, Handshake starts, but his father cuts him off. Do you have any idea what you've done? Jinho's voice is ice. Park Yuna's family is threatening to release those fraud documents. Our stock has already dropped 15%. The media is calling it the scandal of the decade. He turns his glare on me. You seduced my son, got yourself pregnant, and destroyed his future. Each word is a slap. I force myself to sit up despite the four tugging at my arm. I'll leave Seoul. I'll sign whatever you want saying the child isn't his. I'll disappear. Junkie, no. That's not enough. Jinho pulls out an envelope, throwing it on my bed. Terminate the pregnancy. There's a check inside for your cooperation and your silence. The world stops. Get out. Handshake's voice is deadly quiet. Get out right now, father. Don't be foolish. He's a male Omega from a nobody family. You think you can build a life with him? You'll be disowned. Cut off everything you've worked for. I said get out. The alpha command in Handshake's voice makes the windows rattle. His eyes flash gold and his father actually stumbles backward. Jinho's face goes red. If you choose him, you're no son of mine. Then I guess I'm not your son. The words hang in the air like a death sentence. Jinho looks between us, then storms out, slamming the door hard enough to shake the walls. Silence. Handshake. My voice is barely a whisper. What did you just do? He sinks back into the chair, head in his hands. What I should have done weeks ago. You just gave up everything for you. He looks up and his eyes are wet. For our child. For the life I actually want instead of the one I was told to have. My heart is breaking and healing simultaneously. The company, your family's legacy, can go to hell. He reaches for my hand and I let him take it. His palm is warm, calloused, perfect. Junkie, I need to tell you something. About that night in Jeju. I try to pull away, but he holds firm. The wine was drugged, yes. But I'm starting to remember things. Fragments. His thumb strokes across my knuckles. I remember your scent. I remember calling your name. I remember. He swallows hard. I remember feeling like I was finally home. Tears blur my vision. You were in rut. You didn't know what you were saying. That's the thing about ruts. His other hand cups my face, gentle. They lower inhibitions, but they don't create feelings that aren't already there. Junkie, why do you think my rut triggered so strongly around you? I can't breathe. The drug enhanced it. But it triggered because I've been in love with you for years and too much of a coward to admit it. The world tilts again, but this time it's not from pregnancy. What? I'm in love with you. I've been in love with you since we were teenagers, maybe longer. But you're my best friend, and I thought you could never see me that way. So I buried it. Agreed to the arranged marriage because I thought if I couldn't have you, it didn't matter who I ended up with. His laugh is bitter. Then that night happened, and for those few hours, I got to have everything I'd ever wanted. Even if I couldn't remember it clearly the next morning. Why didn't you tell me? I'm crying now, ugly tears that won't stop. Why didn't you? He counters. We're both idiots, Junkie. We've wasted so much time. The door opens again. This time it's Park Yuna, still in her wedding dress, makeup smudged. She looks at us with an expression I can't read. "I'm not going to apologize," she says coldly. "You humiliated me in front of everyone." Yuna, handshake starts, but she holds up a hand. "But..." She pulls out her phone, taps something, and shows us the screen. It's a recording. This is my father admitting he fabricated the fraud evidence. He was drunk at the rehearsal dinner, bragging about it. We stare at her in shock. "I'm not a good person," Yuna continues. "But I'm not going to be married to someone who loves somebody else. Consider this my wedding gift. And my revenge on my father for treating me like a business transaction." She turns to leave, then pauses. "For what it's worth, congratulations on the baby." She's gone before we can respond. Handshake and I look at each other. Freedom and terror and possibility stretch between us. "Move in with me," he says suddenly. "Let me take care of you. Both of you. Let me prove I'm serious about this." Handshake. "Please, junkie. Give me a chance to do this right." I should say no. This is too fast, too complicated. But I'm tired of running from what I want. "Okay," I whisper. "Okay." Living with Handshake is nothing like I imagined and everything I feared. His penthouse overlooks the Han River, all floor-to-ceiling windows and modern furniture that probably costs more than my entire apartment. He's given me the master bedroom while he takes the guest room, despite my protests. "You're pregnant," he'd said firmly. "You need the better mattress." That was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks of awkward breakfast conversations and careful politeness. 3 weeks of sleeping in separate rooms while my heart screams that he's right there, just down the hall. Tonight, I can't sleep again. At 11 weeks pregnant, my body is a stranger. My breasts are tender, my emotions are chaos, and I'm constantly exhausted yet unable to rest. I pad to the kitchen for water and find Handshake already there, shirtless in pajama pants, staring at his laptop. "Can't sleep either?" he asks without looking up. "Baby's practicing taekwondo." I pour water with shaking hands. It's a lie, the baby's too small to feel yet, but I can't tell him the real reason. That I'm terrified. That living with him without really having him is torture. "Junkie." His voice stops me halfway back to my room. "Can we talk?" My stomach drops. "About what?" "About this." He gestures between us. We're living like polite strangers. I can't keep doing this. Here it comes. The rejection. He's realized what a mistake this was. "I'll start looking for apartments tomorrow." "What? No." He stands, crossing to me in 3 strides. "That's not what I meant. I meant this distance. This pretending we're just friends when every night I dream about you." My glass nearly slips from my fingers. Handshake. I'm remembering more. Every night, pieces come back. His eyes are intense, desperate. "I remember your taste. The sounds you made. How you whispered my name like a prayer." His hand hovers near my face, not quite touching. "I remember telling you I loved you. Did I? Did I say it that night?" The truth sticks in my throat. "Yes." "And what did you say back?" "That I'd loved you since I was 12 years old." The confession spills out. "That you were my everything. My always." Handshake's breath hitches. "Then why are we sleeping in separate rooms?" "Because you're only with me out of obligation. Because of the baby. I proposed to you." His words stop me cold. "That night. I don't remember everything, but I remember asking you to marry me. I remember you crying and saying yes." The memory hits me like a train. His hands on my face, his voice rough with emotion. "Marry me, junkie. Be mine forever." I'd thought it was just the rut talking, meaningless promises made in passion. "You don't have to pretend." "I'm not pretending." He finally touches me, hands cupping my face like I'm made of glass. "I loved you before Jeju. I loved you during. I love you now. The baby didn't create these feelings, they just forced me to finally admit them." "But your father, the company, everything you've lost." "I haven't lost anything that matters." His thumb brushes my cheekbone. "Do you know what happened yesterday? I got a job offer. 3 actually. Apparently, standing up to my father made me attractive to companies that value integrity over politics. He laughed softly. And my mother called. She's divorcing my father. Said watching me choose love over duty inspired her to do the same. I'm crying now. Really? Really? So please, Junkie. Stop trying to be noble. Stop sacrificing yourself. Just tell me, do you love me? Yes. The word breaks free. Yes, I love you. I've always loved you. I'll always love you. He kisses me then, soft and desperate and perfect. It's nothing like the rut-hazed passion of Jeju. This is clear-headed and intentional, a promise made with full awareness. When we break apart, we're both breathless. Move into my room, he whispers against my lips. Let me hold you while you sleep. Let me be there for every moment of this pregnancy. Let me be yours. Okay, I breathe. Just, okay. 2 months later, I'm standing in front of a mirror again, but this time Hanshik stands behind me, his hands resting on my now obvious baby bump. You're beautiful, he murmurs, kissing my neck. I'm huge. At 19 weeks, I've finally stopped being sick and started showing properly. I can't see my feet. You're growing our daughter. You're a miracle. Daughter. We found out last week. Hanshik had cried so hard the ultrasound technician had offered him tissues. Are you sure about this? I ask, gesturing to the suit hanging nearby. It's not too late to back out. Junkie. He turns me to face him. I've never been more sure of anything. I want to marry you. Not because of the baby, but because I can't imagine my life without you in it. Today's ceremony will be nothing like the lavish disaster at the Shilla Hotel. Just us, my parents, who've been surprisingly supportive, Hanshik's mother, and a handful of close friends. A simple courthouse wedding followed by lunch at our favorite restaurant. Perfect. I love you, I say because I can say it freely now. I love you too. He kisses me gently. Both of you. 6 months later. She has your nose, Hanshik says, wonder in his voice. Our daughter, Duhana, meaning one, in both our names, sleeps in his arms, tiny and perfect. She was born 3 hours ago, and I'm exhausted but deliriously happy. And your stubborn chin, I counter. She fought coming out for 12 hours. He laughs, carefully sitting beside my hospital bed. She's perfect. You're perfect. His eyes are suspiciously wet. Thank you for giving me this. For giving me everything. Thank you for not giving up on us. We sit in comfortable silence, watching our daughter sleep. Outside the window, Seoul glitters with evening lights. Somewhere in this city, my old apartment stands empty. Hanshik's father is facing fraud charges thanks to Yuna's recording. Park Yuna herself just launched a successful fashion line, apparently thriving in her freedom. And here we are. A small, imperfect, beautiful family. Junkie. Hanshik's voice is soft. Do you ever regret it? Everything that happened? I look at him, this man who gave up everything for love, who chose me over duty, who holds our daughter like she's made of starlight. Not for a second, I whisper. And I mean it.